There's a big car with police wrote on.
Well, you don't expect them to go round in go-karts, do you?
I don't expect them to come round at all, not in a decent neighbourhood. I better go and see what's up. It'll be something now.
They've taken her with them.
Elsie?
White as a sheet, she is. I hate anything like this.
Oh, it'll be a TV licence like us not. Has she got one?
Well, now you come to mention it.
Hey, you're
Oh, no, they don't take you off in no police cars, not for petty offences like that. And when it comes to petty offences, the Ogdens are flaming authorities. Hey, you, I'll wring your flipping scraggy neck for you if you're not
Shut up,
careful.
squabbling like a pair of alley cats.
And if you want to know what the trouble is, you better ask your pal Elsie Tanner. From the look of her, she's in for a double dose. It's finished now, Mrs. Tanner.
Thank you.
Lisa, darling.
See if you can dig up a cup of tea somewhere.
Yes, sir. And for you.
No. Oh, no.
It's just not possible.
I'm sorry about this.
Steve.
There's just a few questions.
Say it. Maybe it'll sink in. Say it, Steve.
I don't think that's necessary, Mrs. Tanner.
No. Maybe not. After all, I just saw him, didn't I?
It could wait till morning if you prefer.
Didn't even look as though he was dead. How?
He was found at the foot of a flight of stairs.
But like that? Was he already?
Dead? Yes, I'm afraid he was.
Was he took it? Oh, what happened?
We shall have to wait for the post-mortem to tell us that. It happened at Claydon Court Flats. Apparently your husband had been residing there for some time.
That's right.
Mrs. Tanner.
Was he... Had he been...
Hmm?
Had he been drinking?
Was he in the habit of drinking?
Well, not more than any other fella. I don't know since I'd...
Since you...
No, he never got drunk, didn't Steve?
Well, that's something else the post-mortem will tell us.
Yes, I suppose so. No good pushing it. It's up to the doctors to find out why.
Yes, and it's up to us to find out how.
What?
I said it's up to us to find out how your husband died.
But you just said he fell down a flight of stairs.
No. I said he was found at the foot of a flight of stairs dead. And that's the only fact we have to go on at the moment.
Well, now, wouldn't you flaming know it, eh? Him.
Now, don't just flaming stand there, mate.
I see the light on, you see, and I think, oh, yeah, some gorgeous little dolly has run away from Daddy and taken refuge in our little pile of wood shavings.
Accident.
Aye. Well, I'm certainly not going to offer you the hospitality, my little feather bed. And I can see somebody's not going to do much graft tomorrow, cack-handed.
Is that all you're worried about?
Natch? Oh, come on, you great soft Nelly.
There's still this one, you know.
Is that what you told him, is it?
Who?
The other fella.
There is no other fella.
No.
No.
I suppose you fell head first into a bowl of rice pudding, didn't you?
Oh, give us that damn thing. I can do it myself.
No, all I'm saying is they don't arrest you for nothing.
Hilda, she's not been arrested.
You don't know she hasn't. No, you bloodthirsty madam, don't know that she has. So keep your blinking cake hole shut or I'll shut it for you.
One more word and I'll clear the pair of you out.
Oh, blimey, it's going to be one of those nights, is it?
Don't bother getting a gin and tonic in, fella.
How's that, Mrs. Sharples?
Your star manageress shall not be coming in.
She's been took off in a police cart by the police.
When was this, then?
About half an hour ago.
I phoned up, but they don't seem to know anything.
What, the local, Nick? Oh, well, they wouldn't, would they? I mean, if there's anything important, I'd go down to Marshall Street.
You think it might be something?
Well, I don't know, Jack, do I?
Well, you have a way of hiding your secrets up them crumbly sleeves of yours.
Mrs. Sharples, I am as wise as you are.
I doubt that very much.
Oh, blimey, are you that hard up for a few kicks round here? 10 to 1, our Elsie's won first prize in the Scuffers annual raffle, and they're presenting her with a pair of diamond-studded lavender-scented handcuffs there, you see?
Does Lem Fairclough know?
Him? He's been too busy playing footsie with a brick wall.
Ken?
Have you been to find out?
Yes, it's Steve.
Steve Tanner?
Yeah.
A cable?
No, he was over here, had been for some weeks.
Was?
Yes, he's been found dead.
Good.
You're not tired?
Me? No, I'm never tired. Go on.
I won't be long now.
Your age, Mrs. Tanner. Any birthmarks, Mrs. Tanner? The colour of your granny's eyes, Mrs.
It's
Tanner.
not as bad as the one I
It's
have.
a lot of questions.
Well, I did ask you.
Yes, and I said, OK, right, go on.
It's only routine.
Yes, formality. Well, you carry on with your routine formality, Inspector. After all, I've got all the time in the world. My husband's dead.
I see from the date you've given me you've not been married long.
Just over a year.
Uh-huh. And you live at number 11 Coronation Street.
You've got it written down there, haven't you?
Your husband resided at Claydon Court Flats.
That's right.
In other words, Mrs. Tanner, you were not living together.
Correct.
I see.
I don't see how it concerns all of this.
Well, it doesn't, really, not just at the moment.
Meaning?
Meaning that we're trying to get together all the relevant facts. Best thing, you agree?
I suppose so.
Nearly done now.
Good. Well, I mean, it's a bit much, isn't it? A man has a simple accident, he falls down a flight of stairs and all this rotten... It was an accident, wasn't it?
Can I speak to maintenance, please? Sergeant Flint, Greg Flint. Yeah, it is personal, but it's urgent. Yeah. Yeah, hold on. But he must be there. He's on duty. Oh. Oh, I see. No message. Oh, Elsie. Elsie, Chuck, what can I say?
Nothing.
I don't know what to say to you.
There's nothing to say. Get the kettle on.
Yeah, of course. Why didn't you ask me to go with you? I could have done. It wasn't right for you to go by yourself.
I'm okay.
You know, it's only down the road. I could have come with you. Are you hungry, love? Would you like a nice cheese?
Dead.
Yes, I know, love. It must have been his heart. It's happening all the time. It scares the wits out of you.
They say he fell down a flight of stairs.
Yeah, it would be his heart. It happened sudden like that, out of the blue.
I'm not quite sure what it was.
I know how you must be feeling.
Do you? I wish I did. I don't know how the flaming hell I feel.
I've got a sleeping pill in my bag. I'll get you that, eh? And a nice warm drink and
I had to look at him, you know. Identify him.
Yeah, love, you would.
Yeah. I couldn't cry. I wanted to, but I couldn't cry. Doc, is there something the matter with me? Is there something missing?
No, love. It's the shock. It takes people different ways.
Oh, God, I'm weary.
Ah, well, you're not going to work. That's a fact. Nice 3 days in bed under Dr. Greenhalgh's treatment. You'll be as right as rain.
They'll be round again, the police.
Well, what for? You've told them all the facts, haven't you?
All that I knew. Seems they've got to investigate.
Investigate? What, for goodness sake? Surely the,
Post-mortem.
Aye, that's right. The post-mortem told them whether he was took ill or whether he had one over the 8. Well, what more do they want to know, for crying out loud?
Quite a lot more, according to Inspector Castle.
Oh, them, they've not got enough to do, as if Steve's accident hasn't put you through enough as it is.
Then, not quite sure it was an accident.
Eh?
According to the inspector. According to Inspector Castle, foul play is not ruled out. That's what the man said.
Utterly tragic. Tragic. Poor Stephen.
Found at the foot of a flight of stairs.
In the very prime of his life.
Question being, did he fall or was he pushed?
Mrs. Ogden.
Well, it's a reasonable question, isn't it, insert?
It's completely lacking in taste.
It's not me what's lacking in taste. It would whoever give him a shove.
By the heck, if your hands did as much work as your tongue, there'd be a right good sparkle on this pub.
Look, all I'm saying is that a grown fella doesn't just fall down a flight of stairs for no reason at all.
Why doesn't he? Did it myself a couple of years back. Missed my footing. Easiest thing in the world.
What happened?
What happened? Oh, the painful sprained ankle. That's what happened.
Oh. Not as painful as a broken neck.
Oh, well, I touched lucky then, didn't I?
Ah, that's because there was nobody behind you giving you an helping hand.
Oh, well, if you happen to know it's a murder case, you're better off telling the cops and not me.
Jack.
Well, that's what she's been hinting at all day, isn't it?
No, of course it's
Well,
not.
what then? He jumped from the top stair and did himself in?
No.
Oh, well, if it's not murder, not suicide, not an accident. By the heck, you've come up with a rum theory, haven't you? Share it.
Police is pursuing their enquiries.
Ah, well, let them pursue them, whilst we pursue our work for a change.
I'll make a start on your bedroom, Mrs. Walker.
Not before time, if you ask me.
According to this, he used to have a lot of visitors at the flat. Some of them stopped up until all hours.
Ah, there's Elder Ogden in every street.
On more than 2 occasions, raised voices were heard.
Well?
One of them almost certainly belonging to a woman.
Now, don't you get like her.
A woman, Jack.
Annie, you mustn't go jumping to conclusions. None of us must.
I'm not, love, but you must admit it's disturbing.
Sudden death usually is.
I mean, one tries to be charitable, but, well, she's such a flamboyant person.
No, Elsie?
She lives her entire life on a high note. I mean, something like this would shatter most people, but probably she's reveling in it. All the fuss, the limelight.
Well, if she's reveling in it, why isn't she in the middle of that crowd of reporters that's hanging round outside her door?
I've given them what for?
What did you say?
Well, there's no use hanging round here, I said. Hasn't she been through enough already, I said?
I suppose it's their job.
Well, we can't tell them anything.
Have they gone?
Have they, heck?
Oh, leave them be. Let them alone. It's all part of it, isn't it? Part of the routine when there's foul play suspected.
Oh, she's a terror, this one. All last night, all she kept saying was, foul play, foul play. I don't know why she wants to keep torturing herself like
Because
this.
it's a rotten, lousy enough thing for Steve being dead. Goodness knows there's a lot of hard things about him, but I don't wish him dead.
Oh, of course not love.
It's hard, you can't think of it. Somebody going there on purpose like that. Your mind can't take it in. A man you've loved, a man you've been married to. How can you?
But if he was, they've said nothing about, you know. They only said suspect.
That means if he was.
Oh, we're daft even to think about it.
Don't.
Well, God knows I don't.
Right, this time they've had it. They'll get a mouthful to burn the flaming ears off them.
Oh, Elsie. It'll all get sorted out. I'm sorry.
Sorry. I said a lot of hard things about him, didn't I, Steve?
Oh, I've forgotten.
I won't, and I never will. But I didn't wish him dead. I don't understand. I just don't understand.
Someone here wants a word with you. She's not too grand, you know.
This won't take long.
More questions, Inspector?
Just a few.
Well,
In private.
but I can't give you long. I've got to be off to work, you know.
Elsie, love, you can't.
Well, it's better than moping about here all day, isn't it?
Oh, she's probably right, Doc. Let her do what she wants.
Will you be all right?
Well, Inspector?
Mrs. Tanner.
Oh, come on, Dave. We're old mates.
We've had a jar now and again. That doesn't make us old mates.
So? I'm not asking for state secrets.
No, that's it as well, because you're not getting any.
This Mrs. Tanner. How long has she worked here?
Since I opened the shop.
Well? And?
And what?
Well, you could tell me what she's like.
She's a first-class manageress.
I want a story, not a reference.
Yeah, well, you come to the wrong place, haven't you, son?
So, you didn't know her very well then, apart from work? Oh, look, Dave, I've got a job to do.
Yeah, well, that makes 2 of us.
Yeah, all right. You're a busy fella. Let's talk about that. Dave Smith Enterprises, the betting shops.
Right, son. Good morning. Thank you very much.
All right, all right.
Unwelcome customer.
Oh, hello. Yeah, press.
I'd have been pestering us to death and all.
Elsie not coming then?
She's not fit.
Oh, well, it's just as well, I suppose. You get no peace here either.
What did he want to know?
Anything I tell him?
Did you?
How is she?
She'd be all right if the police had stopped mithering her.
Still at it, Ollie.
Aye, that Inspector Castle was on the doorstep when I left. Otherwise, she'd have come in. I expect you're a bit stuck, aren't you?
Sure, that's the least of me worries.
Well, look, I don't know a dahlia from a dandelion, but if I can be of any help...
Oh. Yeah, well, I'll see you're all right, you know.
I'm not worried about that. I'm thinking about Elsie.
Yeah, it's a club, isn't it? Yeah, Smith. You know nothing, all right? That you tell them nothing, all right? Yeah, right. Right, I'll leave you to look after the shop then.
Hi, if anybody attacks me, I can always scream. You say things like that and you don't even think, do you?
Hi, Elf. Hey. What have you done, swap jobs?
Can I help you?
Well, that depends. I want a big bunch of scented whatnots for my best girl.
I hope she likes them.
I wouldn't know, would I? Do you like scented whatnots?
Me?
Well, naturally. Who else?
Whoever it was, I presume you were out with last night when I phoned the base and you were supposed to be on duty and you weren't there. Oh, not that I mind. I don't give two hoops what you do.
Oh, did you phone me, Dot? Well, when was that?
At 11 o'clock last night.
I'll kill those guys. You know, they're too lazy to get up their great big fat... I was there, honey, honest.
I needed...
Hey, come on now here. Come on, tell Uncle Greg. What's this all about, eh?
When we heard about Steve and they took Elsie off to the police station, I didn't know what to do. I phoned you because I wanted to talk to you, that was all. Just to find out...
You heard what?
About Steve.
Well, what about Steve?
Oh, don't you know? Haven't you seen the papers?
Here, look, dry your eyes. Well, I told you, honey, I was on duty all night, and well, I went back, I grabbed a few hours sleep, and I came straight over.
He's dead.
Dead? Steve?
Found at the bottom of the stairs at the flats where he lived.
Well, was he stoned?
I think it might have been... murder.
Yeah, well, that figures.
Greg!
Well, now, let's be realistic, honey. He wasn't the most popular guy of the year, was he?
But the man's dead.
Well, that doesn't alter the facts.
You're not even... He was your friend. He was your mate.
So we all make mistakes.
God, you're a funny fella.
Yeah, well, I know there aren't too many of us around. So what'll it be? Orchids or camellias?
For Steve?
Well, for you, honey. For you.
There was no quarrel.
But you had left him.
I was homesick.
Homesick?
I realized I'd made a mistake.
About living in America?
About marriage. We just left it too late, that's all.
Plenty of people get married late in life.
Yes, I know, but I'm talking about him and me and Steve.
You'd known him before?
I told you. He was stationed over here during the war. That's where we met.
And you were still married to your first husband, then?
Yes.
Go on, please.
Well, we realized we'd made a mistake. It was just one of those things, and we were both still friendly.
Friendly?
Yes.
It was agreed that you should come back here and he'd stay in America?
That's right.
But he came back.
Yes.
He wasn't posted here, but he came back. Why?
Well, I told you. It was something private. It was nothing to do with the army.
Yes, I know that.
Yes, well, he had a holiday. He'd been working very hard.
And he came back here at his own expense to see you?
Yes. Well, naturally, Woody was over here.
I suggest his sole purpose in coming back was to patch up his broken marriage.
No! Then he rode.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see what flaming concern it is of anybody's except me and him. It's just me and Steve, that's all it is.
Oh, Mrs. Tanner, I've got to get to know your husband, about his life, his friends, your friends.
My friends?
Anybody who knew him. Now, he phoned you up quite a lot from the flat.
A few times?
Several times.
We had a lot to discuss.
Well, naturally. And not always over the phone.
What?
On occasions, you visited him at the flat.
On occasion.
Last night?
No, I told you over and over again I did not see Steve last night.
No, but you took a taxi round to his place, and halfway there you changed your mind, got out and paid off the taxi cab. Why? Now, it's quite simple, Mrs. Tanner. We've interviewed the taxi driver.
Oh.
You did get out halfway to Clayton Court.
Yes.
Why?
I changed my mind. I didn't feel in the mood for another...
Argument? Where'd you go then?
I don't... Cup of tea, snack bar.
Now, where?
One of those places on Portland Street.
Did anybody see you?
Millions of people.
But nobody that you knew. And you arrived back here at approximately 8:45 p.m.
Yes.
It took you 45 minutes for a cup of tea and do a 5-penny bus ride.
It must have done.
Mrs. Tanner, what did you and your husband quarrel about?
I told you over and over...
I'm speaking of 2 days ago. You were around at the flat the night before last. There was a heated argument.
Oh, God. There's always somebody listening. There was no argument. It was just a difference of opinion.
He wanted you to go back to him as his wife.
Yes.
And you refused.
Yes.
Rather a major difference of opinion, Mrs. Tanner.
Have you finished?
No. I should like you to come down to the police station for a while.
The police station? Why?
Fingerprints.
Oh. So I'm one of your suspects.
No, you're jumping way ahead of me, Mrs. Tanner. I haven't got a list of suspects.
But you just
no,
said...
all I'm doing is investigating the circumstances surrounding your husband's death. We've established nothing yet.
You're just twisting words.
Oh, no, I'm not. You've admitted that you were around at the flat.
Not last night.
On previous occasions. Therefore, your fingerprints are bound to be there, amongst others. So we shall establish which are yours, and then we can eliminate them.
I see.
Then we shall identify all the other fingerprints, apart from your husband's, of course, and we can discount yours, can't we? Can't we, Mrs. Tanner?
Poor devil.
All right, let's save the crocodile tears, eh, kid?
Greg, I don't know what's come over you.
Gary knows what I mean, don't you, son?
Look, I was gonna pay him.
Sure you were.
This sucker owed Steve a few bucks playing poker.
A few bucks. Got you off the hook nicely, eh, kid?
Now, wait a minute.
Look, all I mean is just cut the phony emotion, huh? Okay, so the guy's dead, so it's a lousy deal. But let's not kid ourselves that any one of us is heartbroken. Not you, nor Joe, nor me. Nor Elsie, if it comes to that.
I must be getting home to her. She'll be by herself, and it's rotten the way she is.
Don't tell me she's the grieving widow.
You're dead, aren't you?
Look, don't take any notice, Dot. It's just an act the guy puts on her.
Sure. She doesn't take notice, do you, Dot? She knows me.
That's what I'm just wondering. Do I?
Anything? No, lad. Barring that you went back with that inspector for further questioning.
Over an hour ago.
She's still not back?
No, there's a lot of newspapers.
Well, they're always long-winded, eh? She'll be back.
I suppose we'll have to put up with that lot of vultures camping out there for a few days. Oh, surely not, Mrs. Sharples. Once they've got a statement or whatever it is they want from Mrs. Tanner. It depends what else the police turn up when they turn up the nasty little stones, isn't it?
Elsie can't tell them anything. She knows nothing about it.
Maybe, but there's still plenty of folk round here that might attract attention.
Nay, Mrs.
All I'm saying is the police aren't daft. They'll find out. There are one or two who might know a lot more than they're letting on. A lot more.
Wouldn't put anything past that castle fella. Anything. Oh, Elsie. Oh, Elsie, thank God you're back. Now perhaps they'll leave you alone.
Oh, they must.
Well, they can't want to ask you any more questions.
I'll make some more tea.
I told the police I didn't know anything about Steve's death.
Well, of course you don't.
They don't believe me.